Good afternoon. It's Monday, January 22 with the 12 o'clock newscast here on Newstalk 93 FM. I'm Shanice Brown. Coming up in this newscast, Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce backs the government's declaration of a state of emergency in St. James. Kiwanis Foundation of Jamaica calls on criminals to stop the murder madness across Jamaica. Jamaica making gains in human trafficking fight, and police appeal to driver involved in fatal accident on Dunrobin Avenue in St. Andrew to turn himself in. Now the details. President of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, Tishura Gibbs, says the body supports the declaration of a state of emergency in St. James. She says there was serious concern among citizens about their safety with the escalating crime problem in the parish.
Well, the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce certainly supports this. It's unfortunate that it had to be declared, but we do support it, and we're hoping that. Specifically, it was that the murders had come home to roost. They were taking place on the main thoroughfare in the downtown area, on the highways, and the latest one close to the airport. So there was concern among our membership, among citizens, who just did not feel comfortable going about their daily business freely because you could just be caught in being in the wrong place in the wrong time.
Ms. Gibbs says the declaration of the state of emergency will affect business in the second city, but says she hopes the sacrifice will be worth it and calm will be restored to Montego Bay.
Some of the feedback coming out of the membership is that there obviously will be a fall off in commerce because some businesses are now mandated to close earlier. So what we're hoping that it's a short-term sacrifice for long-term gains, and that the state of emergency will be short-lived and we'll be able to return to normal operations very soon. But it is welcome because there is a sense of safety and a sense of peace now around the city.
Gibbs says members of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce are hoping that after the state of emergency is lifted, there will be an increase in the number of police officers to Montego Bay, as well as an increase in the use of technology in crime fighting.
So while at this time there is a sense of calm and peace, we're comfortable with what we're seeing right now. I've personally interacted maybe on 3 occasions with the lawmen, and they were very professional in their dealings with everyone I saw them interact with. What we're hoping for, though, after the state of emergency is lifted, is that there is an increase in the number of police officers deployed to Montego Bay. We were made aware that we do have a shortage in officers, and we're hoping that we'll have our full complement. We're also hoping to see the use of technology introduced in the fight against crime. I know that we're hearing that there's a rollout of cameras taking place right now. We're hoping that the software is there to support it, and the specifications are those that will be accepted in the court of law. So there'll be less reliance on eyewitnesses in court, and that will be able to use the technology.
President of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, Tishura Gibbs, speaking on the evening edition recently. Meanwhile, the Legal Aid Council is providing legal representation for persons who have been detained under the public state of emergency declared for the parish of St. James. The Legal Aid Council, in collaboration with Cornwall Bar Association, has made available 19 counsels, including 6 senior lawyers, to provide representation for the detainees. The Legal Aid Council says residents of St. James who have been detained may contact the Montego Bay Legal Aid Clinic at 42B Union Street, St. James, or 952-2183. They may also call the Cornwall Bar Association at 940-1960. Residents of St. James may also visit the Instagram and Facebook pages of the Cornwall Bar Association for a list of the lawyers who have been rostered. The Inspectorate of the Constabulary and the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom, as well as the Old Harbour Police, are investigating the shooting death of 2 men over the weekend, one of whom was killed by a police officer. According to a report from the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, at about 5:15 p.m. on Saturday, January 20, a man entered the East Street bus park, approached the group, and opened gunfire. 3 persons were shot and injured. They say the explosions alerted a policeman who was in the town. He went to investigate but was challenged by the gunman who opened gunfire at him. The gunman was subsequently shot and killed during an exchange of gunfire. He remains unidentified. One of the 3 persons who were shot and injured in the bus park succumbed to his injuries. He has been identified as 26-year-old Kevin Williams, a conductor of Williams Place in Old Harbour in the parish. 2 other men remain in hospital, reportedly in stable condition. The Inspectorate of the Constabulary and the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom, as well as the Old Harbour Police, say they are investigating the incidents. And the Kiwanis Foundation of Jamaica, KFJ, is expressing serious concerns about the crime situation in Jamaica. The KFJ says it is especially concerned about the many children who are victims of the bloodletting across the island. In a release, the Kiwanis Foundation of Jamaica said the high level of criminal activity, and specifically gun violence, is a matter of concern for Kiwanians in Jamaica. The KFJ says its concern is very focused on the children and the long-term effects it perceives the current situation is having on them. The foundation says there may be divided opinions as what may be causing the killings, but it says its concern is that creative and firm measures are needed to curb and curtail the development. The release said that as a movement, Kiwanians work and interact with children across the island and holds the view that the behavior of the children has been and is being heavily influenced by the inappropriate behavior of adults. It says many children are resorting to violence as their way of solving minor disputes because this cannot be good for the long-term development of the country. This, it says, is because Jamaica is in danger of raising a generation of young people who believe that the settlement of all problems lies in a violent situation. In light of the prevailing situation, the KFJ is calling on all stakeholders to unite in stopping the current situation for the sake of the children and the country at large. Chairperson of the Violence Prevention Alliance, VPA Dr. Elizabeth Ward, says the entity is working with several agencies to establish crime intervention programs in communities across Jamaica. She makes this comment in light of the escalating violent crimes that are overrunning the country.
We're working with BASIS and CSJP. They set up a benevolent society, and they were trained leaders in the community who have organized and are able to benefit from resources that can pay for those kind of camps or be able to access programs that are advertised to assist communities.
She says there is a particular response structure that is used to address incidents with the Peace Management Initiative, PMI, and the police to address the crime situation.
They have the structure to respond to incidents and work more effectively with groups like Peace Management and the police to some extent.
Dr. Ward says while the Violence Prevention Alliance does not collaborate with the Peace Management Initiative, the PMI is one of the most effective intervention entities, and so it is supported.
No direct collaboration, though we've looked at the data collection, and the data has shown us over most of the communities that they have been one of the most effective interventions. They're one of the, Damian Hutchinson does sit on our board.
She adds that there has been a noticeable reduction in murders in communities in which the PMI works.
We support them because we the data telling us how effective. I think the data for St. Catherine in particular is showing that in the communities where the PMI has worked, there's been a 30% reduction in homicide in those communities.
Chairman of the Violence Prevention Alliance, Dr. Elizabeth Ward, speaking on Fresh Start this morning. You're listening to the news here on News Talk 93 FM. It is now 12 minutes after 12 o'clock. Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Carl Berry says the Jamaica Constabulary Forces JCF Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit has recorded major successes since its establishment in 2005. DSP Berry, who heads the unit, says the body has to date rescued 76 victims without incident. He said that more than 3,000 victims have been interviewed, resulting in the conviction of 4 of 23 suspects who were brought before the courts for human trafficking and related matters such as rape and facilitating prostitution. The persons convicted were sentenced to upwards of 30 years imprisonment in order to pay up to $2 million in restitution to victims. DSP Berry was speaking at a public forum jointly hosted by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons and the United States Embassy at the University of the West Indies regional headquarters in St. Andrew. Highlighting other gains, he said that 3 prostitution rings were displaced, including one on the Port Henderson Road, better known as Back Road in Portmore, St. Catherine, and 3 establishments that were responsible for hosting, housing, and allowing prostitution were permanently closed. The forum concluded a week-long series of regional sessions and school tours from January 16 to 19 under the theme Human Trafficking is Real. Look beneath the surface. The activities were aimed at heightening awareness and understanding, particularly among students and young people, about human trafficking. An unidentified male, believed to be of unsound mind, died from injuries he received when he was hit by a motor vehicle on Dunrobin Avenue in St. Andrew yesterday. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that about 12 a.m. it is alleged that the man attempted to cross the road and was hit by a vehicle that did not stop. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police are appealing to the driver to turn himself in, and anyone with information is being asked to contact the Constant Spring Police at 924-1421, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. In news further afield, hundreds of thousands of federal workers are waking up in the U.S. unable to work because of a government shutdown. The U.S. Senate has failed to reach a temporary budget deal to keep it open. Some employees will not be paid until the stalemate is resolved. A vote will take place today in Washington on whether to reopen government. Immigration remains one of the main sticking points between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats have refused to back a temporary budget deal until their concerns on immigration reform are dealt with. Essential federal services are still running across the country, but non-essential workers are not required to report to work. At midnight on Friday, lawmakers failed to agree on a spending bill. The bill was not a plan for funding for the whole of 2018, but would have kept things running until the middle of next month. And that's news. Now for a look at the weather. There is a high-pressure ridge across the northern Caribbean. The high-pressure ridge should remain the significant feature across the island until tomorrow. And this afternoon, expect showers and isolated thunderstorms across sections of western parishes. Elsewhere is expected to be partly cloudy. To end this newscast, a look at the main points. Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce backs the government's declaration of a state of emergency in St. James. Kiwanis Foundation of Jamaica calls on criminals to stop the murder madness across Jamaica. Jamaica making gains in human trafficking fight, and police appeal to driver involved in fatal hit and run on Dunrobin Avenue, St. Andrew, to turn himself in. And that's a 12 o'clock news and weather package here on News Talk 93 FM. Stand by, the news in the Jamaican language is next. I'm Shanice Brown.
Broadcast Jamaican and News Talk 93 FM now gear the news in the Jamaican language.
Good afternoon. Me name Kadeen Marshall.
And me name Talitani, and this are the news in the Jamaican language.
Some report as the 100 people get killed in the country from the year start. Some number what the Jamaica Constabulary Force put out will cover from January 1 to the 28th. So 13 more people get killed when them look at the same time last year. In the St. Catherine North Police Division, 13 people get killed. And in the Clarendon Police Division, 13 people get killed too. 9 people get killed in a St. Andrew South Division. The number them show say major crime gone down though. For breaking a people house gone down by 50% and for beat up people gone down by 51%. On top of that, rape gone down by 60% and for rob people gone down by 16%.
The police are looking at our 54-year-old lawyer, Lois Ferguson Mackay, dead. One of Mackay family find her Saturday after she went a worry so she not hear from her in a one good while. Her body went beat up bad. As according to some report, the last time somebody see Mackay, she went apart with one man in a St. Mary, Wednesday about 7:30 at the night. Mackay went come back from foreign and she went to do social work too.
Some local diver and the Marine Police are going to start search back for an 18-year-old man who drowned yesterday in a river near the Oliver Housing Scheme in Portland. Nico Murray will come from Woodstock Housing Scheme in Buff Bay. Him been a swim in a river where them call Mouth and him getting a some problem. The police say him friend them been a try save him, but some heavy wave wash him away. The Marine Police and the local diver them been start look for him, but up till late yesterday, them never find him, so them are going to start search back today.
The police end up and move fast and hold on upon one man and one gun after somebody get shot and dead Saturday on Edison Avenue, Kingston 11. Nobody know who the dead man be yet. The police report says somebody hear gunshot a come from one car where when I drive on Edison Avenue about 7:45 in the night. The car end up licking at one light post. Little bit after that, somebody see one man come out of the car with one gun in him hand. Him went to try get away, but one policeman hold on upon him. The policeman find one Browning pistol with one magazine where have been 2 gunshots upon him. The 2 man them get carried to hospital and doctor said the man where police no know who him be yet dead. The other man get admit in a hospital and police they watch him. Police ask anybody who have no information what could have helped them for call the Olympic Gardens Police for 923-5468, Crime Stop on 311-119, the Stay Alert app or call the nearest police station.
News and fine. All the federal workers can't go work today because America's Senate has struggled for stop one government shutdown. Some of the workers them not going to get paid until this sort out. Yesterday meeting in the Senate, one agreement never reached between the Republicans and the Democrats, and immigration being one big problem. Site lock at the Statue of Liberty being a lock yesterday, and New York governor said he must go in a state money for pay the bill them and open up back the site. Me name Kadeen Marshall.
And me name Talitani, and that are the news in the Jamaican language. Wait for the weather.
Now for the weather. One week, low pressure area across Jamaica. The low pressure area will stay across the island till Wednesday. After that, one high pressure ridge will build up. Now for Jamaica all day weather. This afternoon, rain will fall over the central and west parish them. Tonight, it will cloudy. For hear about this news here, or any other news in the Jamaican language, get it from the Broadcast Jamaican app, from the Google Store or the App Store.
Broadcast Jamaican and New Start 93 FM just get the news in the Jamaican language.
The Midday Sports Report is brought to you by News Talk 93 FM, life-changing sports radio.
Good afternoon. With your Midday Sports Report here on News Talk 93 FM, I am Mikhail Johns, and we will open with football. Match day 22 in the Red Strap Premier League RSPL opened up yesterday with 4 of a scheduled 5 games on the day. 1 game between should-be host Montego Bay United MBU and guests Harbourview was postponed. As for the 4 games which were contested, Arnett Gardens copped the biggest win, blanking debutants to the top-tier Sandals South Coast 5-0 at home. Arnett was led to that 5-0 win by Fabian Reid, who netted a hat-trick, scoring minutes 38, 78th, and the final minute, that being the 90th. The other goal scorers, meanwhile, were Giovanni Sims in the 69th and Kamal Malcolm in the 75th. Also copying a clean sheet win was Cavalier, who were playing at home. The returnees to the top tier, they blanked leaders of the table, Portmore United 3-0. Portmore ending with 10 players. Goal scorers for Cavalier were Kahim Paris, Siobhan Marsh and Alex Marshall in the 10th, 12th and 65th minutes respectively. FC Reno were the other winners on the day, clipping Tivoli Gardens 2-1. Linville Wilson and Affabit Chambers netting goals for a come-from-behind win for Reno, minutes 78 and 81. Tivoli Gardens had copped the opener at home in the 16th minute through Andre Moulton. Game 4 of 4 saw Humble Lion and Boys Town playing out a 1-1 stalemate, with Humble Lion having to come from behind at home. Craig Foster was the man to draw them level 6 minutes before the end of regular time, while Jameel Hardware had copped the opener for Boys Town 2 minutes from the break. And as it stands, Portmore United are now merely leading by 3 points. They have 47 from 23 games, while Arnett have 44 for second. Cavalier have 38 points for third, while Tivoli Gardens have 37 for fourth, and the UWI, who are to contest their matchday 23 game later today, have 29 points in 5th place. Reno, meanwhile, went up into the top half of the tables and have 28 points to close out that segment. And to take a look further afield, Watford have named Javi Gracia as their new head coach, hours after the English Premier League EPL club gave the axe to Marco Silva. The Spaniard, who has inked an 18-month contract at Vicarage Road, has been out of work since leaving Russian club Rubin Kazan last June. Now 47 years old, he previously spent 2 seasons with Spanish La Liga side Malaga and also worked in Greece. Gracia is the 10th manager to work for Watford under the Pozzo family since 2012. And now we take a look at track and field. Omar McLeod and Aaliyah Atkinson both made history when they were crowned Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year respectively at last Friday's National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Awards. The announcing of McLeod's name for the award inside the Pegasus Hotel made him the first male sprint hurdler to cop a lien on the crown. McLeod was deserving of the award thanks to winning a gold in the men's 110 meters hurdles at the World Championships in London last year, being the only male to cross the line first or cop any other event at the World Championships for Jamaica. Meanwhile, Atkins became the first female swimmer to win the award twice. The male runner-up, meanwhile, was Usain Bolt, while the female runner-up was first-time nominee Rista Nana Tracy. Even earlier in the night, McLeod had also been announced as the category winner for male track and field athlete, but interestingly, the sport body picked Elaine Thompson for the female award. Speaking to Rista Nana Tracy after the awards, we asked her views on not copying the award, which was nominated by the J3As, despite being runner-up overall for women.
Well, I mean, all of us are winners, and any one of us could have gotten that award. So I feel extremely great to actually be the runner-up.
And now moving on to tennis. Former champion Angelique Kerber battled back against world number 88 Sia Suwei to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals. Kerber, who is the favorite for the title following her convincing win over Maria Sharapova in round 3, recovered from a set down to win 4-6, 7-5, 6-2. Now 30 years old, the German and 21st seed is the last remaining Grand Slam champion in the singles draw for women. She will next face American 17th seed Madison Keys in the final 8. And finally, we take a look at NFL. Tom Brady threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes as champions New England Patriots reached the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. The Patriots overcame the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-20 to book a meeting with the Philadelphia Eagles. quarterback Nick Foles threw 3 touchdowns as the Eagles beat the Minnesota Vikings 38-7. The Patriots will equal Pittsburgh's record for 6 Super Bowl champs if they win on February 4 in Minneapolis. And that's it for your midday sports report here on Newstalk 93 FM. I am Mikhail Johnson saying stay tuned as you enjoy your afternoon.
That was your midday sports report brought to you by Newstalk 93 FM, life-changing radio.